Hello there, everyone. This is Desparoto, and welcome to episode 0 of the TLC Chaotic Stupid Podcast. I am your host, and I see that, Doeke. And why not get the introductions? There's Doeke right there making faces in the camera.
I am. Hello.
Hello. And we are joined today by Rev and Turtle as well. All right, that's the introduction. Now what? I guess we just start talking.
Welcome to the podcast.
Take it
now
away.
What?
That's pretty much the best way to get going. Now
All right,
what
we
do we
did,
do?
guys. I'll see you guys next week.
Should we do
anyway.
like a more in-depth introduction, like what we do as streamers and stuff, and like our community?
Let's just roll into that right now instead of putting that in the introduction.
Yeah, sure.
So, this is TLC, the official TLC podcast. Anyone want to explain just what the heck TLC even is?
That would be more of a turtle question, I think.
Yes, TLC. We are a community, and more importantly, a family. Okay, I started this a long time ago, and it has become something slightly better than what I started a year ago. So I think we're off to a
Slightly
really
better.
good start. We got streamers, we got people who watch streamers, and then we have gamers. So, you know what? It's a really good time.
And whatever the heck I am.
And then there's Desparoto.
Yep. Then there's me.
I really like what the community has turned into. It's been a really wholesome place to be a part of and chill with people.
It's been rough. It's been 3 years since I started Discord.
God, has it been that long?
Wow. I've only been here a year.
Almost 3 years when I started as Epidemic Gaming with my friends, and then I was like, I want more.
More.
I want everybody to be here. And originally I tried to make like one streaming channel, and I was like, we should all, there's actually a Twitch place called Streamer House, and they all stream from one channel 24/7. And I was originally trying to do something like that, and it did not work. It did not work at all. And then that's when I branched out.
Yep, so basically we're a bunch of streamers, and we yell at each other, and we have fun with each other, and we love each other, and we support each other. If it's this joke that I thought of the other day, it's basically we all follow each other on Twitch, and we're just constantly, money's going in a circle, because we're just throwing subs and bits at each other.
We're all subbing each other.
It's just,
there's
money goes in a circle.
There's a reason this podcast is called Chaotic Stupid.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Just the stupid part.
The reason is I played a bunch of names out there, and y'all voted on the one y'all like, and I kind of figured y'all would like that one a lot.
I did like it, yeah.
It fits the group better. Like, it fits the Discord better as Chaotic Stupid.
That's true. It's very true.
So the way I figured these podcasts would work is we're just going to rotate the cast. Whoever can be here, hooray. If we have at least 3 people per show, we're doing fine.
Yep.
All right, so what's everyone been doing this week? How's y'all's week been?
Holy crap, I do nothing. Let me tell you, I work, and then I've been sleeping. And that's been my week.
Unfortunately. I know the feeling.
That's been my week too. This week, anyway.
Yeah, after getting sick, like 2 weeks ago, I just want to sleep all the time.
Ugh.
Any games anyone's been playing that they want to point out?
Yeah, I mean, I've recently been playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I want to play that
I
so
was
bad.
watching you play that. I want to play it too. I just don't want to spend $60 on it.
It's worth it, though.
My problem is that I refuse to buy it on Epic Games. I'm waiting for it to come on Steam.
Why is it not on Steam yet?
Because it's an exclusive to Epic, so basically they're probably going to release it in a year after it comes out. So
just like Borderlands 3 did.
Yes.
It does look fun, because I was watching you play that, Rev, and it's like, why do we have, like, guns in a fantasy land? Because this is Tina's fantasy land!
Yeah, I mean,
bitch!
it's Tina, so everything explodes.
Yes.
I love her for that.
I do too.
I can't wait to enjoy it.
She's great. I love her personality. I love where she's like, delicious, nom 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 nom. Like that has stuck with me since I played that. She's just, I don't know, she's great. I have one of her bunny bombs somewhere.
Oh, Miss Snugglebottoms or whatever she called them?
Her name is Felicia Sexopants.
That's one of them. Yep. 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 I remember.
That's not real.
No, it's real. It's real.
Oh my god.
She called it that in Borderlands 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
There were two of them.
There were. I don't remember the other one.
It was like something Snugglebottom, I think. And you had to find the two rabbits. Their badonkadonks which were missiles.
Yep. Big old bombs.
All right. What's everyone else been playing? The same old standard stuff, standard fare.
All I do is play Lost Ark.
Yeah, you and Gat are in that one a lot.
Yeah.
I play a lot of games because I have video game ADHD, so I've been getting into Rune Factory 5, which is a newer release. I have played some of the Pokemon Arceus.
Yes.
That's a lot of games you listed there.
Shut up. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Dark Pictures Anthology trilogy, where the first one was Mana Madon, and then the second one's Little Hope, and then the third one is House of Ash. I've played through Mana Madon and Little Hope, and I've been working through House of Ash, which...
The same people that made Until Dawn, though, right?
Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I really liked Until Dawn. Until Dawn was really good to me. I know there are people out there that don't like it, but I really like those decision-based games where every decision you make determines the outcome of the game.
Yes.
I love those when they actually do the decisions properly.
Yeah.
All too often in those games, it really just comes down to the only one that actually matters is the last one.
Yeah.
I just love the meme of when he's in the cabin, dude's just screaming, Jessica! Like, and he just continues to scream Jessica throughout the entire level.
Now, when you say decisions matter in that game, is it a Mass Effect situation where they just change a few characters, but ultimately the same things happen? Or is it more like a, what the frack was that game? A true crime game where your playstyle kind of dictates where the story goes.
Your playstyle dictates where the story goes.
Yeah. So, like, for instance, as one of the characters, don't ask me names, I don't remember names. In Until Dawn, you have to free yourself from some sort of trap. There's, like, I don't remember what was on the table, but if you, like, go for the item on the table, your hand gets trapped, and depending on what you do, you could lose a finger. Or,
it was a key.
Or you,
it was a note. It was a note, I think.
No, it wasn't a note. It was, I want to say it was the machete, because you can either sacrifice your finger or you can sacrifice the weapon, basically. So, like, you either lose a finger or you lose the machete, because it breaks, just depending on what you do. Or you could choose to void it all together, and you keep your finger, and you also don't have the machete. So, I mean, I guess it's just,
I've seen that movie. It's called Saw, right?
No.
There are a lot of Saw-like-esque type traps in the game.
I didn't know that I was going to lose my finger when I was trying to free myself. It was just, like, we're going to still try and, get this, whatever. I think the machete was stuck on something, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly.
It was on some, like, mechanism.
Like, I was trying to get my hand free, but also keep the machete, and I didn't know I was going to lose a finger as a result, so it wasn't really a Saw-esque thing.
Did you lose the finger?
Yeah, I lost the finger. It didn't.
Hey, hold your hands up.
I didn't personally lose a finger. Good grief!
Just checking.
She's like, yes.
It's a very immersive VR game.
I was concerned for a second. She wasn't doing it. She was hiding something.
Do you see my fingers?
There's a finger for you.
I brought up true crime earlier, and that made me think, since this is episode 0 and we don't really have any feedback from others to go off of, does anyone want to talk about, like, their favorite stuff, favorite games, anime, movie, books, songs, bands, people?
Heck yeah.
Anything?
I could talk about a lot of that stuff. What do
you want?
Right.
You can't go all at once. You gotta start with one.
Okay, well, I'll tell you one of my favorite game series that I have been playing the 4th entry of lately, and that would be, what the frack was it? Valkyria Chronicles. I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles 4.
It reminds me of, have you played any of the Tales games? Like Tales of Symphonia and stuff like that?
I have not.
It's kind of the same art style, and that's what it reminds me of.
Have any of y'all played Valkyria Chronicles?
I have not.
No, I just looked it up because I had no idea what it was.
I knew what it was, I've never tried it.
Yeah, okay, Riff.
I call it Waifu Wars. Because that's basically what it is.
Oh my god.
You just end up stalking your squad with all the cute girls, let them go to war.
I'm adding it to my cart right now.
Oh man, Turtle's over here like, I'm in.
It's fun. Valkyria Chronicles.
Say less.
Say no more.
hey, there's some. I recommend when you play it, play the squad stories because you get more info on the background characters. Then, like I played Nico's squad story, not squad story, Nico's squad story the other day, and I actually really liked it because it involved 3 characters. One of them being kind of like an outcast, one being a former nun who turned soldier, and then Nico, who was an orphan raised by the church. And it's this really, really interesting story of Nico being way too sweet for this cruel, cruel world and trying to help and just save the poor drifter guy who was looting corpses off of a battlefield.
I like how on my Steam it says it's this is similar to Final Fantasy X, and I'm like,
No, it ain't.
I don't think it is.
It's more like what the heck is the name of that game? Their characters are in Smash. They're anime and it's swords and it's
Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem, that's it. It's similar to that, but it's Fire Emblem but you get a tank. So
As far as favorite game series are concerned, I have to go with Pokemon. Always has been. Like, even since middle school when Red and Blue came out, I have always played every Pokemon game that has come out since.
I like Pokemon.
Nerd.
Yeah.
However, I always found it boring.
You know, I don't think it's for everybody, because I know of a lot of people that don't like it either.
I like watching Pokemon.
The anime was good. Like, I guess you could call it anime. It's American anime, so it's cartoon. Hey,
Nice.
Despa's got a Pokedex.
old school
Yeah.
Pokedex. This thing came out, when did it?
I remember those things. Like, a neighbor of mine had one of those, and I thought it was the coolest thing, and I wanted one so bad.
I'm pretty sure I had one at one point, but
I never had
no
one.
idea what happened to it.
The CC number says 1998.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the crazy thing?
Still works?
This thing's got the original batteries in it still.
Does it still work?
That's disgusting.
And yes, it still works.
Well, there you
How
go.
are they not corroded?
I don't know. I think Nintendo built this like a tank.
More
a
like,
Nokia.
And let's
how
see,
has
I haven't
it not
turned it on in a
died yet?
while.
It's like a Nokia.
Let's say, here's the crazy thing. I turned it on a couple years ago to see if it still works, and this motherfucker kept the time. It had a time. It was off, but it was only off by like an hour. I hadn't turned it on in over a decade. I don't know how it kept the time that accurately. It has my list of favorite Pokemon still. Apparently, 10-year-old or younger me thought Vulpix was the 6th best Pokemon.
Ever since the first couple games, like Red and Blue, my favorite Pokemon's always been Oddish.
That's interesting. Because
If that's
most people would
not evident, Rev, you're not even
Why is there
looking.
a
I'm just
Blueberry
realizing
ice
something. This is supposed to be audio, and we're showing you people's stuff. We're showing each other's stuff on camera.
Well, that's part of the fun.
Hey, listen, we're not called chaotic stupid for no reason. Just saying.
That is true. Doeke is currently holding.
Nice.
Awesome. Doeke is currently holding 3 Oddishes of various sizes.
Yes.
They have completely covered his face.
Yes,
Doeke is
it's
an
quite
Oddish
odd.
now.
Wouldn't establish
Very
that.
odd.
Ish. It's very odd-ish. I gotta put them all back.
Anyone else?
Listen, alright. This is what I like. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Heck yeah. Kingdom
And Final
Hearts is
Fantasy.
Awesome.
Kingdom
I've
Hearts
been-
and Final Fantasy.
I've been getting into Final Fantasy. I never was into it before because I really, really dislike turn-based combat. Like, hate it. I hate it. I tried
Why?
playing. I don't really get it. Like, I don't.
So what you're saying is you can't use your brain.
Yeah. No.
I get it.
Turn-based for me, it depends on the context. It depends on, like, it makes sense in Pokemon for
Yeah,
some reason. I
yeah.
don't know why. But if I'm playing a game where everyone's got swords or guns and stuff, I'm sitting here thinking, why are we taking turns hitting each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it depends. And I have the same opinion with, like, one series that is near and dear to my heart is Mass Effect. But one thing that I will go on and on about Mass Effect 1 in particular is RPG mechanics in a third-person shooter. They did not go together at all. because it makes no sense for me to have a gun that is essentially a handheld railgun, and it doesn't just absolutely obliterate everything because it's a level 1 and that's a level 5 enemy. That makes no sense. It's a railgun.
So,
What are y'all doing?
To clarify what we're doing, is Turtle's like moving his hand off screen and it just disappears with his background, and he's just doing this.
So what I realized,
it looks like he's waving, and so I waved at him, and then he waved back, and then we got Doeke also moving his arm.
So like, if I put my hand behind my microphone, you can't see it. So it's going in front and then going behind it.
Yeah, Turtle is using one of those Discord backgrounds that has real-time masking.
And I'm just slightly amused by the small things.
It is amusing, because we did this earlier before we started recording, and I'm like, here's what I'm drinking, and you can't see the freaking cup I'm holding because it's getting maxed out.
It just looks like you're holding
nothing. It looks like I'm
nothing.
drinking nothing but air.
Insert sponsor here.
Going back to the whole Final Fantasy conversation, though, is like I liked a lot of like the older ones, like 7 and 8 and all that, and like even 10. But like once they started like integrating like skill trees, I'm like, nah, that's just too much for me.
The number 10, where you have literally every single skill tree.
Like I got through 10, but like it got bigger after that. Like the skill tree just blew up to like this giant map of skills, and I'm like, I don't know where to go with this.
Didn't they kind of calm that down a little bit? Like, it's not... I don't recall... Okay, I have to say this. I didn't care for Final Fantasy, and Turtle, get your gun and all that. I know you're about to shoot me. Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is where I started caring about the series, because that was the first one I ever played where I had fun with it and could understand it. I know.
Like that one.
I know people... Okay, look, I will say Lightning Returns is actually really good. I think Lightning Returns is the best of the 3 Final Fantasy 13 games. I have 13 1 and 2. I've played a little bit of 1.
Face palming so hard.
I seriously played like half an hour of Lightning Returns, and I said, "What is this? Like, what am I playing?" And then I turned it off.
It's such a different game compared to the rest of them. It's a very, and I think that's what makes it polarizing.
Oh, sorry. I have 9 minutes of the game.
It felt like half an hour.
It felt like 2. So, yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, I must say this. If you only have 9 minutes in it, you didn't complete the tutorial yet.
No, I couldn't.
Okay, yeah, I will say this. The tutorial is bad, but if you can soldier the first 10-20 minutes and get through that tutorial, the game opens up a lot more. It becomes a lot more open. All you gotta do, because it's gonna take you back to that like central heaven sub area, and it has you like fight a boss you just fought. It's not really gonna ask you to fight it. It's trying to teach you how to back out of a fight. After that, you go back into the real world, and the game is just, boom, here's your whole open world. Save people.
There's 42 achievements. I'll get there.
You achievement whore.
I need them.
I
must say, I do... If you don't like turn-based combat, I do recommend Lightning Returns, because it's not turn-based, it's real-time, but there is still a certain element of waiting and trying to strategize to it. Because I see why people like turn-based, but again, in context, why am I going to wait for someone to hit me on the head?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part I don't like it is because I don't have that option to dodge. So I'm like, I'm gonna get hit, and I don't like
Lightning
that.
Returns has a dodge. If you can find
Fantasy 15, I did not like, but that's the same type of gameplay.
Final Fantasy 15 is free, real-time fighting though.
Yeah.
That's the one with the guys, right?
Yeah.
The 3 guys on a road trip? Okay. I keep getting that one and 14 mixed up, and 14's the MMO.
Yeah. I've played 14 before.
14's good.
I have been working through the remake of 7, and I've really been enjoying it. And they just recently came out with Stranger of Paradise, which is an origin story. and I'm really excited to get into that. It looks super, super good. It also looks like it's gonna break my ever-loving heart.
I have something to add to that, though, because it bothers me a bit. Why do they keep making content for 7? It doesn't need any more.
It's so good.
It doesn't need any more.
It's so good.
More content? What do you mean, more content?
Let's see. They've been a remake. There's been a movie. There's more.
They made a movie?
Yeah, they did.
Advent
Children.
They made like 5 movies based off that one.
You're gonna have to link that to me.
There was
There
another
was a
one.
whole other game, Dirge of Cerberus. There was a whole bunch of shit just based around Final Fantasy VII. I'm just like, why?
Just 7, I don't know. It was so good. The story was really good. Even though like the gameplay, like the original game.
I understand why, because Final Fantasy VII, people are gonna buy it. It's a cash cow. Put more content out, but it's just stop.
God, it just looks so pretty though.
Is Yuffie in it yet? Because like I know everyone loves Tifa, and I love Tifa, but I like Yuffie more.
You have to ask
All
Rev.
right, Rev, is Yuffie in it?
Yuffie is in part 2. So they had to split the remake into 3 parts.
Mm-hmm. Is part 2 out yet?
The second part is out.
2 part.
We're just waiting for the third part.
You're really excited about Yuffie.
Yes, I want to see Yuffie. I will say this, though. I like Yuffie's character design in Kingdom Hearts better than in Final Fantasy. I don't know why. I think she looks better tunified like that.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is, personally, I think Final Fantasy 8 was better than number 7.
Thank you.
I've heard that a lot, actually.
In terms of story and character, Squall was my favorite.
I was about to say, 8's the one with Squall in it, right?
People absolutely hate the Gunblade, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And
it's...
even like the beginning scene when he's fighting Cypher, I thought that was just so good. Like, for a PS2 game, like...
On speaking of Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy VIII, Squall, Gunblade, did anyone ever actually manage to beat Leon in the first time you fight him in Traverse Town?
First time, no, but I eventually
1?
did it.
Yeah, not first time, like when I originally played it.
Well, I mean first time in the chronologically in the story, not the first time you actually played it. Obviously, he's gonna wreck you then.
I feel like I did one time, because you can just deflect his the fireball from his gun.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
And then it's GG. You just roll around a bunch. I tried to do, when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, the game was really easy. And then they released critical mode. So I was like, alright. And then I did critical mode with level 1. So you get no experience. And I think it took me an hour to get through the first zone. Because everything just killed you one hit.
I replayed Kingdom Hearts 1 a few years ago. And I think this was actually before the recent Kingdom Hearts was even announced. So, not a few years ago. It's been 3 or 4. But
the game's been out for like 4 years now.
I seriously... Let's just say I found the game this time not hard, more annoying in a lot of places. I honestly didn't have fun till I got to Halloween Town. That's when the game started getting interesting.
Oh, I love Halloween Town.
Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite. I have a tattoo of Jack Skeleton.
Are we just talking about the Kingdom Hearts levels? Yeah.
And best Kingdom Hearts 1 level is the castle at the end. What's the name of it? Castle Oblivion. And that song that plays...
It's one of like the famous songs. What the fuck's his name? I'm not gonna remember. But yes.
It's a level in Smash now, which I absolutely love.
Oh,
that song.
is?
People love that song.
Oh yeah, because they
so
added
renowned.
Sora to Smash.
And
they added Sora to Kingdom Hearts. Damn.
Yeah, they added Sora to Kingdom Hearts.
He's in Kingdom Hearts, guys. Well, there was one game where he wasn't in it.
Yeah, the second one.
Was that the second one or one of the in-between ones?
Because it was Roxas in
There's
the
3
second
different
one.
versions of Sora, right?
I can't keep it straight.
If you don't play every single Kingdom Hearts game, you won't get it. That's just it.
And they're spread out across different systems, and they have different freaking names. They have the weirdest names.
Yep, I haven't played the mobile game, and I was talking to Rev about it the other day, actually. It's called Union Cross, and it's about the Keyblade War before...
Oh my god, there's a Keyblade War?
So it's really good. The story is so good, and if you buy the packs on the PlayStation Store, you can watch the movie about the Masters, and it's so good. It's so well done. It doesn't give a lot of explanation unless you play the game, but just that whole cinematic is really good.
I'm just trying to imagine a bunch of people fighting a war with keyblades.
So basically, you had like they were all like keepers of light, fighting. Honestly, the story is so confusing. There's like 6 different masters.
This is getting convoluted.
There's 6 masters,
Square.
and they were all different
Square,
unions,
stop it.
and there was all
Stop it,
these
Square.
keepers of light fighting
Stop
the
it.
darkness, and they had to gather
Just
light.
shut up, Square. Square. Okay, look, Kingdom Hearts 1, dumb story. Well, actually, it's not even really a dumb story. It's just got some bad dialogue here or there, but it's fairly simple overall. You can get it. And now I'm looking back at, like, how did this even happen? It's ballooned into this freaking thing that blew up.
Oh yeah, and if you were to like try and find a YouTube video on the whole story, it's easily over an hour.
I don't know if I really want to watch a YouTube video that even tries to explain Kingdom Hearts lore.
As
I think
I've played every single game except maybe one, I still don't even get it sometimes. So it's okay.
I vaguely recall a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake getting announced at some point. Or did I dream that?
They just recently did that. They've remade 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like the HD remix or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I actually have it up on Google.
Vixen was playing that. I remember.
Vixen was playing it,
that on her stream.
And doing a wonderful job at it, too.
Dokie, let's me and you trash talk Vixen a little bit since she's not here to defend herself.
Okay, I'm good with that.
She had a hard time with the final boss, who is literally just a car that doesn't move and you can easily dodge his attacks. Which I understand part of that was the flying/swimming mechanic in that game, which is never good in most of those.
That's not even the best part.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the best part, is when she was fighting Ursula was the funniest part.
Ursula is literally the
Ursula's
hardest boss. Okay?
Literally,
Ursula is the
she's
hardest
such a
boss.
pain in the
Ursula
ass.
is the hardest boss. She kept saying
her
I'm
PlayStation
tasty.
kept
I'm like,
crashing
well,
on her every time she tried to fight it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
The only
That
thing
doesn't
annoying
help.
about the last boss in that game is his multiple phases, and that's it. Other than that,
Yeah,
Ursula is a pain
he's
in
a
the ass.
slog. He's not even hard. He's a slog.
Yeah. I challenged Gat because he's like, oh, this game's easy. I'm like, okay, you gotta beat it on level 1 mode on the hardest difficulty. Anyways, back to the meat of this Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 4.
I am so excited because I just love Kingdom Hearts and it looks so goddamn good because they're going with a more of a Final Fantasy look than they are Disney, and it looks incredible.
But did you notice it had the trailer I saw was Sora running around a very realistic looking city,
Mhm.
so it kind of reminded me of Mario Odyssey's trailer, where you have cartoony Mario running around with realistic size and shape people. I wonder if they're going for that kind of.
So basically,
Well-
the meat of the story is that they're in an alternate universe, which is like real life. So it's basically like how they talk about it is like either place doesn't actually exist, but only in death. So the way that they did it with Sora is that he abused his power of awakening, which then, when at the end of the game in number 3, I don't know if this is spoilers for anyone,
Yes.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, I've only played the first one, so I don't care. You can spoil it for me, but
So
the other
he
two
abuses
might.
the power of awakening, and then he ends up in another universe, which in turn people assume he quote-unquote died and ended up there because he abused that power. So now he's in like this alternate universe. I forget the actual name of it. They have a name. And now he's there, so he's got to figure out how to get back. And in the trailer, Donald and Goofy, I think he's talking to Hades at the end of the trailer, if you saw it. Because they're asking Hades how to find Sora. Where did I lose you? You all look so confused.
I'm not confused. You didn't lose me.
No, I'm not confused.
Anyways,
I need to watch the trailer
I'm just-
again because we talked about it where you said there was a flash of blue light and I don't remember
Yeah,
that
right.
part, so
That's like right at the end, so that's why we think it's Hades,
Yeah.
right? But so anyways, he's in like a real life place, and that girl that he wakes up to is part of the app that I was talking about, and she dies. You'll never hear the story anyway, so I'm not worried about this one. But she dies in the game on the app, and then somehow ends up in that timeline universe. So it all connected. It's all connected.
So it's the quote-unquote afterlife.
It's like an afterlife type thing, yeah. But in real life.
Welcome
So
to
it's actually
Limbo.
I mean, if it's an afterlife, then Sora just went to hell.
So that
If it's our
I guess
world.
that city is based off a real city in Tokyo.
It is. I do vaguely remember hearing someone say that. It looked a lot like a certain place in Tokyo.
But other than that, if you what do you think the worlds are going to be like in this game?
Well, what haven't they done?
A lot.
Yeah, there's a lot that they haven't
You're talking
done.
about Disney's
Listen,
entire
If
freaking
they do
repertoire
another
here.
Agrabah, I'm done. Okay, like Aladdin.
Yeah, Agrabah can die.
It's so played out. Okay, like I like Aladdin, but enough.
Have they done like Frozen yet?
Yes.
Have they done Mulan yet?
Yes.
Yeah, Milan was an earlier one, wasn't it?
Milan was in Birth by Sleep.
Okay, remember, I've only ever played Final Fantasy 1.
You mean
on the
Kingdom Hearts
PS2.
Listen,
I've not touched any of the
I
others.
Kingdom
got
Hearts one.
Kingdom Hearts.
Sorry, Kingdom Hearts.
I got you.
Final Fantasy
I know most of the
They're the
worlds.
same thing. Who cares? They're the same
No,
freaking
they're
thing.
not.
Well, hold up.
I know they're not.
No, they're not. Absolutely not.
I
One
mean,
of
they
them
got
is
Final
8-bit.
Fantasy characters in them. They have a Final Fantasy kind of feel to them most of the time. Goofy and Donald might be there, but that just means that Yuffie and Tifa are Disney princesses.
Oh God!
Actually,
no.
you know the weirdest thing is Wreck-It Ralph. So what's that little girl's name that's in it?
Vanellope.
Vanellope. They made her a Disney princess in the mobile app,
Well, she is one.
No.
She is a prince. She is
Yep.
a Disney
Yeah,
princess.
she is
so that
one.
makes
and
sense.
I was
Yeah, she is.
holy
She's
shit,
probably the best one.
that's crazy. And then she rips off like her. They gave her like a dress, and she like teleported out of it. She's like, I don't want to be a Disney princess.
That sounds like Vanellope.
But yes, Frozen has been done actually in number 3, and Mulan was in Birth by Sleep.
I mean, then you've got movies like what? No, Coco was DreamWorks.
Do we count Pixar movies?
Yep, because they did a couple of those too.
Okay.
I can't even think of any Pixar movies now.
I mean, it's like
Yeah,
there's,
like, I can talk a
Coco
lot.
was one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say Coco. Maybe an Encanto world.
So
That'd be
actually,
fun.
when I was looking it up, people actually really want a Coco world, and I think it would be
Coco
awesome.
or
Coco,
Encanto. I'll take
that
either.
would be
I'll
awesome.
love
Like
both.
going
Coco
in,
would be so good.
yeah, like going to like the afterlife from the movie.
Yeah,
That would be
so awesome.
cool.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And of course, there's the very good speculation of Star Wars being a world.
I could see it.
It probably.
They
would
showed
be.
a forest, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the forest of Endor," and then they see, and there's like a little mechanical foot in the corner, and they're like, "That's an AT-AT." So we'll see.
I'd have to see the foot to say for sure. But
Nerd.
this forest alone does not mean Star Wars, but I'd have to see the mechanical
Oh,
foot to say if it's an
Oh,
AT-AT.
I'll show you.
That is an AT-AT foot,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an ATST, one or the other.
Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking, and I would like to see like a lightsaber.
Actually,
keyblade.
looking at
That'd be
it-
fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's an ATST, because an AT-AT would be bigger. That almost looks like it's just plopped in there Photoshop, though, because it doesn't look like it belongs in that
That's the
picture.
real photo, like from the trailer. Like it's
Hmm.
actually in the trailer.
All right, I'm going to look up ATST just to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Look. Military vehicles from fictional worlds are confusing, all right? I can tell.
ATST, yeah.
Yeah, it's an ATST. I'm looking at one right now.
You're talking about it like you're trying to track a bear through the woods or some shit. Oh yeah, that's a fresh bear claw right there.
Come back kind of like what you said earlier about Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts kind of feeling like each other. It's funny you say that because they actually use and test mechanics in those games to like trade off to what is that nod, Turtle?
I'm straight, dude.
I don't know. That's a suspicious
That's
nod.
a
That's
very
sus.
suspicious nod.
A sus nod. I think you're the imposter.
You're right. Well, so like the Kingdom Hearts 4 gameplay is more like a Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, they were comparing it with 15 gameplay. How about that grapple hook though? Oh my god!
At least it's not a jetpack.
So he has like a grapple on his keyblade in the trailer. It's fucking sweet.
There was a time when grapple hooks were everywhere in games. They were like jetpacks are today.
Kinda.
Not jetpacks, wingsuits.
Kinda.
Wingsuits replaced the jetpacks, and the jetpacks replaced the grapple hook
Jetpacks?
as the thing
Jet
everybody
blacks.
wants to do.
Never had a jet
Jetpacks.
black.
Oh, no, the jetbike was in Saints Row.
Okay, so you guys got to talk about your favorite game series. My favorite game series, always Legend of Zelda, always up at the top there, but also BioShock.
Have to ask, which one's your favorite Zelda?
My favorite Zelda, gosh, it's
It's an obligatory question.
I know.
They're gonna say Majora's Mask.
So I'm one of the very few who actually hates Ocarina of Time. My favorite is between Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I really, you know what? And I'm also one of the few who really enjoyed Skyward Sword. A lot of people really hated its mechanics. Yeah, the mechanics were a little wonky, but overall, I loved the story, and I didn't mind the art style either. I liked the watercolor soft aspects of it.
I think people have come around to Skyward Sword now that they can play it without the motion things, without the hand tracking.
Yeah.
But I think more people have come around to it now. Okay, I must say, I'd have nothing wrong with your choice of favorites, but is hate really? That's a strong word.
Yeah, I really did. I really hated it. I didn't...
Wow.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina.
So I didn't play the original Ocarina. I didn't actually get to play it until it came to the 3DS.
That might explain it.
It might, because I played the other games before I played that one. But my first Zelda game was Oracle of Seasons, and I did like that one. That's actually the game that got me really interested in Legend of Zelda. And then Wind Waker came out as like the first GameCube Zelda game, and I recognized it from playing Oracle of Seasons and was just obsessed, like immediately obsessed, wanted to play it, begged for that game, and then played. It was the first game I think I ever played obsessively, and I could probably know it like the back of my hand. That's how much I played it.
Wow.
But
Wowie.
I know.
Wowie.
Wow.
But yeah, Ocarina
Okay.
of Time, I don't know why I hated it so much. I think it was, as much as all the Zelda games are back and forth, I feel like Ocarina was too much back and forth. I didn't like having to constantly go back to the Temple of Time. Be an adult, be a child, be an adult, be a child. Be an adult, be a child.
We must have played it very differently, because you really don't. Well, if you're only doing like the main story stuff, you really only have to do that a handful of times. That's actually one of the complaints about it. It's because you don't have to use the time travel mechanic all that much. There's really only like 2 temples that take advantage of it.
She did it wrong.
Yeah, it's the Sand Temple and the Shadow Temple. The only 2 where you have to use it.
But there are a lot of things that you have to do to progress in the storyline that doesn't have to do with the temples so much. Getting through Gerudo Village, you have to go back in time and forward in time. I don't know. I didn't like it very much.
We'll forgive you.
It's fine.
I never played it, but I'll forgive you.
Ocarina is a lot of the stuff that people complain about. Ocarina has to do with it being the first 3D Zelda. That
I don't care about
because
that.
like a lot of it has been done so much better since that it really isn't as good in comparison, I will admit.
A good game, good graphics, a good game does not make. So, like, that didn't bother me.
What I'm saying is, since it was the first Zelda in 3D, and you remember this is one of the early 3D games.
Oh yeah.
It's right up there with Mario 64. So making games in a 3D environment was still new to developers, and playing games in a 3D environment was new to people. So a lot like Navi, the sole reason Navi exists and has become the meme she's become is to help guide you along. That game, back in the 90s when it came out, would have been hell without Navi. And I maintain that. I believe that. Because you'd have been lost.
Listen, I was a simple child. I played the Lego games, like Lego Star Wars. I played Call of Duty, and I played, what was that one game? Time Splitters, right? Time Splitters is a great game.
If you want to talk about what I played growing up, we'd have to divide this into eras of when did I have a 64, when did I have a PS2, and when did I have a Xbox 360? And now that I say that out loud, I just realized since I don't have a Nintendo Switch, the last Nintendo console I've ever owned that was a true console, not a handheld, was the Nintendo 64.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I never got the Wii or the Wii U. I did have a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy SP.
We don't need to be talking about Game Boys.
Did you not get a GameCube?
I didn't care for the GameCube.
What?
See, I owned every console, but I never had a handheld until I had a PSP.
Oh, I had a PSP. I still have my PSP.
So I never got to experience owning a Game Boy.
I'm so sorry, Turtle.
I know.
Oh,
Very
that
sad days.
12-hour card ride was so much better with a Game Boy.
Right?
I just slept. Like, that's it.
Oh, no.
I didn't get anything cool like that. I had a Tamagotchi at one time. That's
Oof.
it. Yeah.
Oh, no.
In my day, we went outside and played.
Yeah, I did a lot of that. I was
But yeah,
active.
other than
Outside, ew.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel now.
BioShock is
No.
there too. Like, I love BioShock.
Have you heard of Atomic Heart?
No.
Okay, so it's a game in development that's been in development for like 10 years now, it feels like. And I don't know if it's ever going to release, but it's basically BioShock type game, and it looks way better. Look it up. Write it down.
Don't tell me that something looks better than BioShock when BioShock is already amazing.
I'm telling you, you gotta look it up.
I want to talk about true
It's
crime,
on Steam.
the streets of LA.
What?
Because the true crime, the streets of LA, the original GTA ripoff. Did anyone
Oh.
ever play that?
No.
No?
Nope.
Oh, see, this is okay. We talked earlier, games that your choices matter. Those kind of games. When in reality, most games that say that are full of shit. But True Crime, Streets of LA is one of the few games where I would say your choices do matter, but not the choices you make for the story. Like, say this dialogue option or that dialogue option, because that doesn't happen. What happens in it is how you play the game. I'll just describe the very first mission in Streets of LA to you to really highlight how this works. Your first mission is the shooting range. You have to score X number of points within Y amount of time. Like a minute and a half to score X number of points. If you fail this, you are given 3 options. You can go back, which in the case of the first mission, it's grayed out. You can't select that one. But any other mission, you can go back, which lets you back out to the overworld, go level up, get some new weapons or whatever. You could, option B, try again. So like if you messed up, you knew where you messed up, you can just try the mission again from the beginning, I think. Or option C, the most important one, you could continue. And you could see the story as it unfolds if your character really failed that mission. In the first mission, where it's the shooting range, the only thing that changes is the dialogue that the chief shows up. Because basically, the police chief shows up behind you and she'll either say, "Good Lord, you shoot like shit," if you failed. Or she'll say, "Awesome, I'd hate to be downrange of you," if you passed.
Oh, you got that locked in.
I do?
Yeah, like that memory.
Yeah.
Is that the exact line?
No, that's not the exact line. I think her failure line is basically, "Geez, Nick, security guards at the mall shoot better than that."
That sounds pretty
God.
convincing.
Anyway, so that first mission, it's not that big a deal. Other missions, however, there's a mission further on where you go to this dojo that's owned by your brother. Massive spoiler alerts, by the way, for a game that's over 20 years old at this point.
Spoil me.
I'm sorry.
Are y'all laughing at how passionate I
No,
am?
I'm laughing at Turtle. Spoil me.
Spoil me.
Isn't that funny?
I don't think it was, but now I'm laughing because they're laughing.
I'm not even laughing at that. I'm laughing at y'all laughing at Turtle.
Seriously, spoil me.
Must spoil me.
No. Enough of that. Enough.
If you fail the mission, or you have to beat up a bunch of goons, your brother dies, your character is pissed, and he goes into the last mission with no backup, and he's just ticked off. And the last mission is actually harder now. If you pass, your brother lives, and you go to the last mission with backup and a cool head, and it's easier. And I really loved that.
That is a lot of, like, changing.
Yeah, that is changing actual things that happened in the story completely. The best part about it is the story has 3 points at which it branches, decided by if you continued certain things with fails or passes. So there's basically 6 different endings to the game because there's 3 different paths with a good and bad ending to each. And what I love it is it's really your choices matter. It's your choice to continue a mission you failed or try again instead of dialogue options.
I mean, BioShock isn't dialogue decisions.
BioShock 1, what made it awesome is the reveal that you've been puppeted the entire time.
Yeah, the story's really good.
Yeah.
The story is great in BioShock 1. I haven't played 2. Technically, I haven't played 1 either.
2 is so much fun.
2, the story is a little convoluted in 2, not gonna lie. Like, I'm not sure exactly where the story comes from in 2, but, it's still, really good. It's got,
I just like being the daddy.
Spoil me.
Yeah. You basically
Spoil me, daddy.
You basically turn yourself into a big daddy.
Nah, just daddy. Because Big Daddy means something else.
But oh boy. Okay. Right.
Chaotic stupid, everyone.
Yep.
Here we go.
Because, you know, if there's going to be a big daddy, you have to be under the assumption that there's also a little daddy. So think about that.
Look on Red's face right now.
Trying so hard to hold it together.
Yeah, this pizza's pretty good.
There she goes.
It's a deep dish, Little Caesars. You know.
Ooh, could have picked a better place to get pizza from, but I ate.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like Little Caesars.
Okay.
Hey, you feel sorry for me because the only pizza place in my town's a Pizza Hut.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah,
I mean, at least you get that stuffed crust.
See, I'd eat Pizza Hut,
Who cares
but
about
only if all of the other options are exhausted.
that? Yeah.
Well, I don't have other options unless I want to drive 30 minutes to an ops.
Oh my god, we have so many pizza places in the city, it's
Oh
ridiculous.
my god, just get the stuffed crust DiGiorno pizza at the grocery store.
You know what I usually do when I want pizza? I just get frickin' Red Baron and a thing of wings, and that's my night. Red Baron wings.
Listen, Red Baron pizzas are killer. I love Red Baron
Red
pizzas.
Baron's pretty good.
Those are good too.
We have really good pizza.
Am I the only one who doesn't like Red Baron?
Yes.
You're also the only one who
it's a
didn't like
frozen
Ocarina.
Pizza. That is not true. I am not the only one who
It
does
is
not
a
like
frozen
Ocarina.
pizza, but, like, you know, it still tastes good once you cook it.
Of frozen frisbees that you could eat, it's the best tasting frozen frisbee.
I have
Okay.
I have a
I
question.
like
Since
Freshetta and I like DiGiorno.
We have DiGiorno. DiGiorno's good.
I have a question since we're talking about pizzas right now. When
Okay.
all of you were, like, in school and all that, did you always get, like, those boat pizzas? Like the French bread pizzas? Or did you just have,
No.
like, the square, like, rectangle ones?
The square ones.
We just had the stupid square.
Our pizzas were rectangle, but they were not French bread. They were rectangle, but they were like thin crust, next to no sauce, the world's worst cheese, and the saddest meatballs.
Like the boat pizzas, like, they weren't, like, fancy in the slightest. They were still frozen, packaged, and
Nah.
cooked, and they were just, like, little pizza bread things.
I'm pretty sure all the schools I went to were too poor to even have stuff like that. Because
We had pizza twice a year, so. Actually, one thing I did want to say before we leave out, I want to give a shout out to my favorite Twitch streamer, JoJo Solos, who's currently practicing for MCC this weekend. JoJo, you're gonna do amazing.
All right,
Everyone
go
goes.
JoJo.
I'm gonna make everyone here be your cheerleaders. We're all rooting for you.
Yeah, JoJo!
I watched that show once. It's pretty weird.
She's not a JoJo reference. She would hate me if I didn't say that. But Team Aqua Axolotls on MCC this weekend. We're rooting for them. They're gonna kick ass.
You've heard it. Everybody go look. Go watch it wherever it can be watched.
Yeah, go follow JoJo on Twitch, and then after you follow us, because I'm
There
not
we go. That's it.
Yep.
free advertisement.
Yep.
But thank you for attending this car accident.
Attending this car accident.
Community
Yikes.
trainer.
Hey, they were part of a ride with us, so
Yikes.
they
I couldn't
were.
even finish saying.
Oh no.
We'll go with small
Yeah.
fender bender.
The idea of attending the car accident. It's like that Disney show where they actually put on a car accident.
Oh no.
Oh.
Fast and Furious.
No, there's like a ride at Disney World where they show you how they did practical effects with cars and stuff. They got stunt drivers in there. It's amazing.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
They tell you about how they modified the cars, and none of it's on track. Well, a few of it's on tracks. There's a scene where because it's all like a live show in front of you. There's a scene where a gas tanker explodes, and they show you how they would do that in a movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was at
God.
MGM in Florida, because that's generally where I live. I live close to there. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Jazz hands.